Level 1. The applicant. You're sitting alone in a quiet room on Earth, staring at a job listing that feels less like employment and more like a life decision. Mars, permanent settlement program. Requirements: engineering or scientific specialization. Willingness to relocate permanently. You pause on that last word, permanently. The program is run by NASA with international partners. The goal sounds simple and impossible at the same time. Build the first permanent human base on Mars. You click apply. Months pass. Then one afternoon your phone rings. A calm voice asks a question most interviews never include. If selected, are you prepared to spend the rest of your life on another planet? You hesitate. Then you say yes. Level 2. The trainee training lasts 3 years. The instructors say something on the first day. Landing on Mars is difficult. Living there is the real challenge. You train inside sealed habitats built in remote deserts designed to simulate Mars. 6 crew members. No fresh air, no privacy. Everything revolves around survival systems. Air recycling, water purification, power generation. You practice repairing airlocks in thick pressure suits. You assemble habitats with robotic cranes. You dig trenches for radiation shielding. Because Mars is constantly bombarded by cosmic radiation, you also learn something important. Your crew will not be the first arrival. 5 robotic cargo missions landed before you, delivering the machines that will build the base. Without them, the mission would be impossible. Level 3. The Traveler. Launch day arrives. The rocket lifts you away from Earth with controlled violence. Within minutes, the sky turns black. Earth shrinks beneath you until it becomes a blue marble drifting in darkness. The journey to Mars takes 7 months. Inside the spacecraft, life follows strict routines. Exercise to prevent muscle loss, navigation checks, equipment inspections, but every day you review the landing plan. Because the moment you reach Mars, the real work begins. There is no celebration. Your life support systems will last only days without the base being activated. Mars appears first as a small red star, then a planet, then an entire world filling the window. Level 4. The landing team. The landing site is Arcadia Planitia. Flat terrain, subsurface ice, consistent sunlight for solar power. Your spacecraft enters the Martian atmosphere at nearly 20,000 kilometers per hour. Plasma burns across the heat shield. Parachutes deploy. Thrusters fire. Red dust explodes outward as the engines slow the craft. For several seconds, the world outside is nothing but clouds of rust-colored dust. Then the dust clears. Endless red terrain stretches to the horizon. The engines shut down. The spacecraft touches the ground. Humanity has arrived on Mars, but the base does not exist yet. That part is your job. Level 5. The first day on Mars. The hatch opens. Cold sunlight floods the cabin. You descend the ladder slowly. Mars gravity feels strange. Only 38% of Earth's gravity. The soil beneath your boots looks like powdered rust. Your first step isn't symbolic. It's scheduled because the first 24 hours determine whether the mission survives. The first task is activating the navigation beacon beside the lander so orbiting satellites can track the crew. The second task is power. 2 cargo landers sit half a kilometer away. They arrived months earlier carrying deployable solar farms. Robotic rovers unfold the panels across the surface. Within hours, a grid of blue panels spreads across the Martian plain. Electricity begins flowing. Mars Base Alpha now has power. The third task is the habitat. 3 inflatable habitat modules were delivered earlier. You connect the first to power and life support systems. Compressed air slowly inflates the structure. Sensors check for leaks. For the first time, humans enter a pressurized building on Mars. You remove your helmet. The air smells sterile but breathable. Day 1 ends with 6 humans sitting inside the first building ever constructed on another planet. Level 6. The Builder. The following weeks become a race against the Martian environment. Everything brought from Earth has a purpose. Cargo includes food for 2 years, water recycling systems, nuclear backup generators, pressurized rovers, construction robots, and drilling equipment. But the most important machine is the ISRU reactor. Mars' atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide. The reactor converts it into oxygen and extracts hydrogen from underground ice. Together they create breathable air and rocket fuel. When the reactor produces its first oxygen tank, the entire crew watches the display. You are no longer completely dependent on Earth. Next comes radiation protection. Mars has no strong magnetic field. Cosmic radiation constantly strikes the surface, so robotic bulldozers begin burying the habitats beneath several meters of Martian soil. From orbit, the base almost disappears, but inside, the settlement becomes safe. Level 7. The Expander. 6 months later, the base has grown. More habitats connect through pressurized tunnels. Greenhouses begin operating. Lettuce, potatoes, algae producing oxygen. Drilling rigs extract frozen water beneath the surface. Every liter is recycled. Exploration rovers map the surrounding terrain, while scientists study ancient Martian geology. Because billions of years ago, Mars may have had oceans. One rover discovers unusual mineral formations near a dried river channel. Samples are returned to the base laboratory. Inside those rocks could be fossilized remains of ancient Martian microbes. If confirmed, it would be the greatest biological technological discovery in history. Something else begins to appear in the rover footage. Small disturbances in the dust, marks that were not there the day before. At first they look like shifting sand patterns, until someone notices the spacing, too regular to be wind. Level 8. The founder years pass. Mars base. Alpha grows from a survival outpost into a settlement. New crews arrive. More habitats are built. Underground tunnels connect entire sections of the base. From space, faint lights glow beneath the red surface. Humanity now has a foothold on another world. Stand outside the base during a quiet evening. Above you drift the two small moons of Mars, Phobos racing across the sky, and distant Deimos. Far beyond them shines a faint blue dot. Earth, the planet where your life began, the planet you will never live on again. Behind you the base hums quietly as air circulates and machines pull oxygen from the thin Martian air. A new branch of civilization is growing here, but sometimes the external cameras capture something unusual, a shadow moving beyond the range of the base lights. By the time anyone checks the footage again, the desert is empty. Level 9. The future population. A permanent civilization needs more than machines. It needs people. Inside one habitat sits the genetic archive, thousands of frozen samples collected from donors on Earth. Human sperm, egg cells, stem cell libraries. 6 settlers cannot create a sustainable population alone. Genetic diversity is essential for future generations. Using advanced reproductive technology, embryos can be created safely in the base medical lab, but Mars adds complications. Gravity here is only 38% of Earth's. No one fully knows how human development will adapt. The first pregnancies on Mars are monitored by scientists across Earth. When the first child is born on Mars, it becomes a global moment. Humanity is no longer a single planet species. Martian children grow up running through tunnels beneath red soil. To them, this frozen desert isn't hostile, it's home. They study Earth in school like ancient history. Oceans, forests, rain, things they've never seen. Slowly, without anyone officially declaring it, humanity becomes two worlds. Earth, the birthplace, Mars, the frontier. You stand outside the base watching the horizon darken. Above you, Phobos streaks across the sky. Farther away drifts Deimos, and beyond them shines a faint blue dot, Earth. Behind you, children laugh inside the tunnels of the first Martian city. Their home is not Earth, their home is Mars. And somewhere right now, back on that distant blue planet, a young applicant is staring at a strange job listing. Mars Settlement Program, permanent relocation. They hesitate, then they click apply. They have no idea they're applying to help build the second home of humanity, and they also have no idea that long before the first humans arrived, something on Mars had already started watching them, quietly, patiently, living just beyond the reach of their lights.